The Alpha Sessions.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Alpha Sessions. I'm Lucy Wroe and today we have the brilliant Christavie.
Hey!
Welcome to our show.
Thank you so much for having me.
No,
I'm
thanks
really
for coming
happy
down.
to be here.
Yeah, we've had a really nice day so far. I feel like it's been very chill. Well, your sound is very chill. We've been talking about Sade.
Yes.
We were leafing through the CD collection earlier, picking out all the classics. So for anyone who doesn't know you, hasn't met you before, tell us a bit about where you've grown up, where your musical background is, and anything you want people to know.
Yeah, so hi everyone, I'm Christavie. Where I grew up in London, Camden Town. I'm really familiar with just music and culture growing up in central London. And I've been singing for as long as I could remember. And music is a huge, huge part of my life and my story, and has always been just there when I need it. And so I'm just really happy that I get to create music and give back as well in some kind of way through my music.
How was it growing up in Camden? The culture in Camden is overflowing almost at this point. So much music there. I just started watching the documentary about Camden. I've only seen one episode.
I haven't seen it yet. Is it good?
It's interesting because obviously so many great musicians were sort of gravitating towards it. For good reason. There's so many venues there. The live scene's amazing, and everyone there seems to be in some way connected to music in the scene. So how was it for you? How do you feel that shaped you as an artist, or if it did
somehow? I grew up in Queen's Crescent, which is not too far from Kentish Town Station, Camden Town, and so growing up there for me, I never really thought about it when I was a kid, but because it's just such a melting pot of different kinds of people. And I guess it shaped me because that's where I had my first music experiences, through school, taking piano lessons, being part of choir, performing in so many different groups that have just been offered through school, has been my gateway to music and my love for it. And Camden has been a huge part of that. They would have the Camden Music Festival every 2 years, which I would take part in with my school. And I guess that just kick-started my love for music and deepened it as well, because I was educated in music. And so I think that's helped a lot.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like it's not as prominent as it was in schools. I mean, maybe it's a London thing as well. A lot of the music culture is in the city. So like if you were to come from a village somewhere up north or something, it seems like when we have artists on, they don't have as much of a connection in their youth. That's why they come to London. So do you feel like that is something that should be pushed more for people growing up now, or young artists that are coming up as emerging artists, to have them more connected to music?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I could talk about it all day and get emotional, but like music has literally saved my life, and I know that it's saved so many people's lives, and it is definitely a driving force and gets people motivated. And I think that everywhere music should be accessible to young kids, young adults, and I've been fortunate enough through school to have those opportunities that I know don't exist in every area, in the UK and across the world as well. But I think that it's definitely an essential part of life. It's healing, and it definitely has the power to do wonders. And I hope we will see a bit more of an effort to push creativity in music.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
So your music, in that context, do you feel like it's a vehicle for activism for music? Do you feel like you want your music to be that exact thing, like for people growing up or just anyone in the world to take that and listen to it, and it's to not save them? I mean, it might save somebody's life, you never know. But when you write, do you feel like that's what you're doing it for, or do you just do it without thinking it's natural, it's for you? Or
I think it's a bit of both. When I do write, I don't particularly try to write something for the purposes of it being, a song or an anthem for activism. I usually write about experience, or if I am writing about something, then it's a story that somehow could relate to, activism or just love and other themes as well. But usually I don't write with an intention. It just comes out, and but usually, at some point within the song, you do realize what you are writing about, and you want to stick to that theme instead of, jumping into something else and talking about something else. Just get a bit chaotic. But I try to just write from the heart, really. And if that means the experiences that other people are also connected to, then great. But that's pretty much it. Yeah.
So not long ago, you released Always Together.
Yes.
And it was a couple of months. I say not long ago. It feels like recently, but it's probably May-ish. And there was another single earlier this year.
Yes, Love Is True.
Love Is True.
Yeah.
By the way, the artwork for that, I'll come back to this, but like the shot, I love the shot so much. It looks amazing. So talk to me about releasing Always Together, and To Be Loved, and what that kind of meant to you, or the significance of that song.
Yeah, well, I wrote Always Together with a friend of mine, Anna Green. We wrote that song 2 years ago. I met Anna at a music networking event, and we just stayed connected, and we really just wanted to get into a mood where, we were writing more together. She has experience of, writing for and submitting songs for K-pop artists, and I really just wanted to write with someone who has already worked with other people before, because I hadn't done that, Up till the point I started going to music networking events, I was writing alone, and I always have written alone. And so when we sat together on Zoom, because I think this was just coming out of COVID, we spoke with each other over Zoom about what we wanted to do, our ideas, and the song just sort of came about, and it sounds a little bit different to what we had initially put down, but I think again it was just a spur of the moment thing when we wrote the song over a couple of sessions on Zoom, and I guess what we were trying to capture was, we wanted to write about being in love with somebody, but also being able to give them the space and freedom to not be so entangled. It can sometimes get like that a little bit in love, and I'm not saying that I'm someone who's distant in love at all. No, I just appreciate my space, having been alone for a long time, but then when the love comes in, it's also about sharing that with someone else, but sharing that in a way that you guys could just respect each other as well.
Having balance.
Rather than the balance. Yeah, exactly.
Balance. So how was it, speaking of balance, writing with another person for the first time? Did it sort of, in the beginning, was it a bit like you had your reservations and it's hard to get things out? I think a lot of artists do struggle with that when you've been writing alone for so long, and then somebody new comes in, suddenly you feel like you can't be too personal with your lyrics? Or do you feel like it was natural from the get-go?
Sorry, I don't know why I'm laughing. It was natural from the get-go, I think, because we both had we were just in good spirits. We were like, okay, we're gonna go in and write this, and we also had a good friendship before we started writing. We'd gone out quite a few times and had seen each other at other music networking events, and so it definitely felt natural, organic when we did sit down to write a song. And I also invited Anna into the studio for some other songs that I was working on, and she's just a great songwriter. She's incredible, and she has a great voice too. And so I just put my trust in her, and I let the ego, out the door, because I've been writing for, myself and by myself. And so my process when I am writing, it's me in my bedroom alone, writing my songs. And so it was different because I was with someone else, and what I had to say wasn't the only thing that mattered. And so I learned how to work very well with someone else, and also think on the spot as well. Sometimes when I'm writing, it could be a bit slow, but with someone else, the ideas come quicker. And so I think I should do it more.
Yeah, I think it works if it clicks like that.
Yeah.
But also, you probably made a good decision going with someone that you have already got that kind of relationship with. Because it must be when you meet someone completely new and you're like, hey, let's just try it out. And then you're sitting in a room, crickets in the background.
Yeah, it can get like that.
But you kind of have to go through those experiences anyway to know who you match with and who you don't match with.
Indeed.
But if you've already found the perfect match, then stick with it, because it's obviously working for you. So the track that you played for us first wasn't a release track. No. As far as I'm aware, it's Come Closer. And tell me all about what this one encapsulates. What's the meaning and the vibe? It's we were talking about Sade already, but it's like more of a slightly disco feel. The way they got the disco guitars in there. How did this one come about?
I think when I wrote Come Closer, it was around the time I'd just been releasing, lots of music, and I was working on music and producing music alone, and Come Closer was something that I worked on in 2020, and I actually did release it, but I took it off streaming services. I don't know why I did that. I was just sort of like, I'm going to take everything off. And I did that, and I didn't put Come Closer back on. But it's definitely a favourite of mine. I produced it myself, I wrote it myself, and obviously I sang on the song too. But I guess that came about just in a random moment. When I have a lot of time to myself, I tend to just sit down by my keyboard, computer, and just start making a song. And again, I really wasn't thinking when I was writing the song. It just came out of me naturally. And as I was writing the lyrics, that's when the song started to come together. And I wanted to write a song that was a little bit flirty, and just a song that was just about two people falling in love but playing hard to get, and it's just about being liberated and just embracing each other fully. That's what Come Closer is about. And I played around with it. I had a lot of fun making the song, and it's actually one of my favorite songs that I've ever recorded, and I just love it so much.
Join me to a duel if you dare. Tonight we end it all with our bands and our stares. Suspense is near, the crowds are thrilled, gripping onto their heels. They're ready for the kill on the dance floor. Then you turn your attention somewhere, it strikes me enough. Oh, come closer if you believe you're mine. Hey, hey there ain't no need to hide. Oh, I'm calling out your name. Secretly you are afraid. I wanna take you out your box tonight. I'm calling out your name. Secretly you are afraid. I wanna take you out your box tonight. I feel the magic in the way you walk, so confidently gliding over to your predator. Yeah, there eyes on you, the choice is near. Will you fight till there's tears, or will you love me more than this? Just think about my sweet tender kisses, moving from side to side, moving from side to side. Oh, yeah. If you believe you're mine, hey there. There ain't no need to hide. Is it because you're mine? Hey, I wanna take you out your box tonight. Is it because you're mine? Oh, I wanna take you out your box tonight.
The Alpha Sessions.
It's a lot of fun. When I was sitting in there, now hear me out, okay? Everyone has their own experiences, like when they're listening to something and they build a picture. Actually, I don't know if they do, but I do.
Yeah.
And in this case, right, I was at a beach bar and I was on my own. I was like holidaying solo and I was sitting at the bar and there was someone, I mean, it was you performing, obviously, it's your song, with your little band in the corner. And everyone was getting going and I was like, this is just like, you can see the ocean out there. I don't know if you imagine things like that when you write. Do you have concepts like that you feel when you're producing?
I was thinking of a ballroom when I was writing this. I was thinking of like a ballroom, you know, people doing some kind of tango dance or something going on there. And, you know, I mean, that, you know, you need that. You need the imagery for the lyrics to come out. And talking about Sade, actually, I think she's an excellent lyricists, and that group in general definitely have inspired me. But at the time when I was writing Come Closer, I wasn't thinking about Sade at all. I just wanted to create something that was influenced by music that I've grown up loving, and music that people that I've worked with through school that have introduced me to. And Come Closer, I think, was just a bit of a mesh of all of that. And I think it was the start of where I decided to focus a little bit more on just those areas that people have always said that I thrive in best, you know, soul, a bit of funk and jazz, because I was making music that was a bit more dancey before that. And so Come Closer was the start of this new era of mature type of music. Yeah.
Let's talk more about your influences, seeing as we're here, because I want to know what goes into it. Obviously, sometimes you can't really tell. Some people come up to you and say, hey, you remind me of this person. And you're like, I've never listened to that person before, or I know of them, but I don't know them. But what does anything actively go into your music that you, when you're writing, you think, that reminds me of this person that I really love?
I'm just trying to channel the spirit of Whitney in my music.
We all should be.
Yeah, I mean, I love them. I love her so much. I have been so influenced by Whitney Houston from such a young age. I don't think my music is quite similar to Whitney Houston, but her voice is just incredible. And just her journey as an artist has always just been so fascinating to me. And I've been influenced by Whitney Houston, Amy Winehouse, Stevie Wonder, Michael Jackson, Prince. And I was in love with those artists from a very young age. And I was introduced to a lot of different artists as well, like Roy Ayers, through just music. And it has just had such a big and profound impact on my life. And I guess through listening to these artists, I've just been able to sort of take influences from different artists and just piece them together. And it's sort of become my thing now as well. Yeah,
I think it's a good sign when you can't trace influences, because it becomes such a complicated combination of all these people that you have your own thing, and that's how like new great artists are born. But do you feel like the classics, like all the people you just listed, massive names in pop music, they're all classics from the 70s to the 90s, and it's changed a lot recently with, I think, the volume of people, like the sheer volume of artists who are now on the scene, like on streaming platforms and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you feel like it's changed? There's a shift, so there aren't the big names anymore. You've got like the top, I don't know, obviously there are still top big names, but how do you feel about the classic music not really being recreated now? Like there's nobody that you could put as on the top like Whitney or Stevie Wonder or Michael Jackson.
Well, you aren't wrong about that. You're definitely not wrong. I hate to be that type of person that says like there's no pop stars, there's no superstars, like, because we've seen over the last few years lots of artists emerge that have definitely started to grow into their own. You know, this is a bit of a wild take, but someone like Dua Lipa, you know, following her journey from her first few singles, she's just transformed so much. And so I feel like you just got to give artists the time to grow as grow into their own, to figure out what their sound is and exactly who their fan base is as well. And I think she's a great example of someone who could potentially be a future legend just because she's worked so hard. Are there fewer artists? Yes, there definitely are. And I think that's because, you know, there's not so much A&R going on in the music industry. There are definitely a few artists that have come out lately. I think the young girls are killing it in the industry right now, and we can't take that away from them. So yeah. I
wonder if that's going to come back round to the old ways though. Like, where do you think it's going? As someone who works in the industry, can you see where, if it's just going to keep getting worse and worse and there's going to be less and less creativity in the industry?
I don't even think they know. I shouldn't even be saying this, but I don't think they know. I honestly don't think they know. I think it's just they're following along with what is trending, and then all of a sudden, you know, that's where all the money goes. But I couldn't tell you, honestly. I couldn't tell you where music's heading.
Yeah, I suppose the better question is, where do you hope it's going as an artist or someone who just wants to make music?
Yeah.
Where would you like it to be, the industry in the way of streaming and how we release music now? Like, what's your dream of an industry? Which is a massive question. Well,
we definitely can't go back.
Yeah,
you know, that is just part of evolution in general. Yeah. And I'm a fan of streaming because it just gives you so much accessibility to artists and, you know, genres of music and time periods of music that you might have not discovered before that at all. Streaming is great. I definitely was someone who was buying a lot of music, digital music, physical copies of music, even when streaming had come out. But then I made the switch. You know, streaming has completely taken over the musical landscape, and I'm looking forward to what else music will bring, but we will always be here as artists and songwriters because you need that human essence and that connection, even if, you know, the labels are trying to create AI artists now as they are. There will always be music, you know, for artists, by artists, for the public. So yeah, I
think you do capture that as well in your music as well. Like, it feels very you. It feels quite unique to you and organic, and it feels like Jazz Nights. Actually, this is a good moment to talk about Jazz Nights because I really like this one. I like this one a lot. And you mentioned earlier it might be coming out.
Yes.
Can we talk about this, or is it secret?
We can absolutely talk about it, yeah.
So you're going to release it into this chaotic industry that we've been talking about. What is the plan for this one? How close are you with release?
I never really have a plan, that's the thing. I think a few years ago I just decided, you know what, like, I'm going to put music out how I want to put music out and not think about, how is this going to do? Like, how is this going to perform? Yeah. And what do I need to do? Do I need to be on camera and, like, you know, be on social media? Like, I'm naturally someone who just likes to be laid back and a little bit private as well. You know, I'll give you all of me in person, but when I have my time, I like to just, you know, be quiet and private, and so it's been a bit tough in terms of releasing music, because I just feel like there's a bit of a pressure, and it's like, oh my god, like what do I need to do? But I've lately been getting rid of that pressure that I put on myself, and just release what I love, what I'm connected to, what makes me feel emotional, because my music is a lot more personal to me now. And so Jazz Nights, which will hopefully come out by the end of August, will just come out randomly.
I put you on a tattoo and a necklace, and claim you as the one 'cause you're the bestest. These feelings running wild deep inside, and I cry each time you come to my mind. I'm missing you as hours pass each day. The nights get longer, but I sit and watch and pray. A vision of us bursts through my eye. I see the moon and we can touch the sky. Ooh, you give me feelings that can never slip away. These lasting moments that can never be replaced. You hold on to this force. Together we defy it all. We redefine it all. There's no one that loves me like you do. There's no one that does it like you do. Oh baby, nobody does it like you. Through the jazz nights and the daylight, there's no better sight than in your eyes. The hues of green, a sight serene. I think I'm lost in a forest or a dream. Now we're lighting up the skylight tonight. London's burning bright but in style tonight. Ooh, I think I'm missing a connection. And ooh, in your arms I know I'm protected. As the hours pass each day, the nights get longer, but I sit and watch and pray. A vision of us bursts through my eye. I see the moon and we can touch the sky. Ooh, you give me feelings that can never slip away. These lasting moments that can never be replaced. You hold on to this force. Together we defy it all. We redefine it all. There's no one that loves me like you do. There's no one that does it like you do. Oh baby, you're the one that I want.
The Alpha Sessions.
Everyone's advice, well, that I've experienced, is just that you need to do everything. You need to have like everything planned out. You need to be consistent. It's always, that's the word, consistency. But if that's not how if that's not your instinct, if you think that's not the way I want to do things, then actually I think it's more important, consistency, is to be true to what you actually want to do. That's more important than consistency.
There's no formula. When you are an independent artist, there really isn't. You know, you could try to be online compulsively, posting consistently, but at the end of the day, there's no formula. And also, when you do try to plan things, they might not always go as planned, and that's okay as well. And that's why I'm taking a step back from thinking about how something is going to perform, and just do it in its own time, and just follow it along with however my heart is feeling and when I feel ready.
That's possibly the downside to streaming now, is that that's where the intensity has come from with like watching numbers, because you can track everything.
They want more, the algorithm.
And everyone wants more all the time. But it seems like you've kind of got a handle on that. Like you've set yourself this boundary and said, I know what I want to do. But do you still feel like sometimes when you go on social media, you see everyone posting and you think like, I should make something? I haven't posted in months. Or do you not feel that at all?
Honestly, not anymore. I'm so in control now, and it's crazy because I never thought I'd feel like this. But I feel great because my music is so personal to me. And maybe maybe I should let go of that a little bit and not have such ownership over it, because once it is finished and you release it, like, it's no longer yours.
It's the world,
it's
yeah,
it's
it's the
just
fans,
out there.
yeah.
But I don't know, I just feel a sense of ownership over my music, and I just feel like it's so precious, and so I go over the details and I'm like, did I get this right? Have I captured the feeling I am imagining, you know, through these melodies and the way that I want the backing vocals to sound? And you know, that's the process that I have gone through so far. I think next I'd like to work on some music videos to also you know, take the song from it being something that's just an audio into visual as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure for that as well.
Yeah.
Everyone's making visual content all the time.
Exactly.
Because that's what people like to do.
Yeah.
But music videos are great, to be fair. I think it's a lost art form. I spoke to another artist on Alpha Sessions about that recently. I can't remember who it was, but they were talking about how amazing, like, watching MTV in the 2000s.
Yeah.
And you just sit and people put so much effort into them. And like, is it something that comes naturally to you, the visual as well as the music?
I think I have the ideas, but it just hasn't been grounded yet, and it hasn't been realized yet. But I've also, again, I've just like let it sink in that, you know, things will happen when they happen. You just got to be prepared and know that you're doing what you can. And I'm looking forward to putting out some music videos, and also just letting things feel natural. As, you know, I'm just all about that now. This is that era, you know, of just things being organic and natural, not too forced, and just letting it ride out and play out the way that it needs to, because music means so much to me. I don't want to make it feel like it is a job or I am trying to reach for something that I shouldn't be.
Yeah.
You know?
And this is kind of the feeling in the final track you played as well. But you mentioned it in the intro that flashbacks. I like this one. This is really nice. And we were singing this before the interview because it's very catchy. But you mentioned in the intro to that song that it was written as like an ode of gratitude to people who've supported you.
Yeah.
And reaching this point that you're at now, you seem like you've sort of been through a lot and you've come out on top of it.
Yeah.
And now this song encapsulates that whole feeling, which is nice. But you haven't released that either.
No.
So is that potentially on its way out?
I'm going to hold on to that one forever. That was just going to be for me, I think.
And us
and you guys too, yeah. I've performed flashbacks, you know, numerous amounts of times. I think with the process of making flashbacks, I just wrote it, and I think that was the first song that I really connected to, and I just said, okay, like, this is super personal, even though in the lyrics I don't really divulge any of like my personal information. I'm like alluding to these feelings of, you know, loneliness and guilt or just heartbreak, and you know, I think that's something that everybody could relate to and connect to. And so when I started working on flashbacks, I was working on this song with a friend who produced it for me, and Anna was also in the studio at one point. We didn't quite finish working on the song initially, and so I took it to Liam Williams, who is a vocal producer, and we added just things that I couldn't even imagine when we were in the studio initially, and also when I wrote the song myself. And we just added in some nice ad-libs and backing vocals and made the song complete. It was a really long process of just working on this one song. I think at one point I was just like, I was really going through it, you know, and I was just in the midst of, you know, just so much depression, and I was living the lyrics, and it just it's just taken a while. That's all. It's just taken a while, but this song's so special to me. That's why I want to hold on to it until I'm ready, and I feel like now is the time to release it with a nice video,
so that we can all listen to it.
Yeah.
Well, Christavie, thank you so much for coming in. I've had a lovely time. And hopefully we'll have you back on the show soon.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
I've had a great time too. This is my first radio interview.
Yes.
And it was awesome.
Thank you. And if anyone wants to find you online or social media, what should they search for?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. It's all the same. Christavie, CHRISTAVIE.FR.
Nice. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I wrote this song as an expression of my gratitude to all my friends during a time I felt like I was in the dark. They were there for me. For sometimes I felt stuck for a moment. I've been trapped under the white sheets. Oh, please, can you come closer? Most things have been taken. Most people have come and gone. But if there's anything that I lack, then it's only you. It's only you. Under unparalleled amounts of stress, I know I could lean on you. But although you probably get emotionally stressed, you say that the grief is for two. Sometimes I get flashbacks to the loneliest days of my life, and then I'll see your smile, 'cause you stay here by my side. I know I shouldn't look back, because you're waiting ahead of me, you're standing in front of me. I shouldn't get flashbacks, rough nights and cold days. I'm lost in the wilderness, and I'm left with the scars. I feel wrecked. Oh, under unparalleled amounts of stress, I know I could lean on you. I know I can lean on you. But although you probably get emotionally stressed, you say that the grief is for two. Sometimes I get flashbacks to the loneliest days of my life, and then I'll see your smile when you stay here by my side. I know I shouldn't look back, because you're waiting ahead of me when I backtrack. Yes, said I have been torn apart for so long, and how the weight of burdens on my mind. You found me lost and sure, you found me lost and sure. I have been torn apart for so long, I held the weight of burdens
get emotionally stressed. You say that the grief is for two. You say that sometimes I get flashback to the loneliest days of my life. Yeah, your smile when you stay here by my side. I know I should've looked